Okay, slightly niche topic, but today I want to talk about how Rage Artscaling works and combos because it actually confused me a lot. And this is actually kind of useful information for some combo optimization. Alright, so just pay attention to this.
I'll show you. Most strongest in the universe.
Okay, so that was 3 hits according to the game. Don't ask me about the damage, it's weird. So the initial hit does 10 damage, then there's a second hit that does 10 again, then one that does 35, then for some reason one that does 0. We can ignore that. So it's 10, 10, 35 for 55 total damage. Now, let's do a combo that scales all the way without walls. So that'll be 30%.
I'll show you.
Guess how much it should do. Okay, so that's never makes sense. Now, if you're paying attention, you might be confused. That did more than it theoretically should, because if you did 55 multiplied by 0.3, you'll realize that that would only deal 16.5 damage. But then you realize, wait a minute, this game doesn't have decimals. So in theory, it should either deal 16 or 30 or 17, because the combo started at 51. But no, it ended up doing 74. So you gotta wonder. Let me double check that to make sure that's real. Yeah, 51. Then 54. So that's 3 damage, like the game says. And then about something, and then 10. So clearly, something's off here. We have to go based on the scaling of each number. This game scales per number. So in this case, 10, 10, 35. So that's actually 3 plus 3, and according to the game, 10. But that makes no sense, because if it's a 3-hit combo, why is the final hit only dealing 10? If we do 35 multiplied by 0.3, it would be 10. So yeah, that is correct. So in theory, it should only be doing 16, but in reality, it did 23. This gets weirder. Don't ask me about all that. This is gonna make more sense here, though. Don't ask me. I'm gonna do something though. Okay, so that's 7%, so it does 1 damage, as you expect. So it started at 88, and it did 100. So now it did 22 damage. If the combo started at 88 damage, did 1 damage there at 89, then the whole Rage Art did 22. I think actually this ended up doing more damage than the previous Rage Art. This is not how it worked in Season 1, I believe. If I have the footage on deck, I can show it.
Strongest in the universe.
But the Rage Art in Season 1 had like hidden damage scaling resistance where what would happen is that the damage scaling on the cutscene attack would scale incorrectly to 25%. It would cap at 25%, but the initial hit does scale correctly, and it still scales correctly here. But the cutscene did 22 damage on the very scaled combo because it did 7%. So how is it doing that much more damage? I'm not sure. Because in the first combo where it scaled to 30%, it scaled to 23 damage of the Rage Art. Dealing 23 damage. Assuming I didn't miss anything, this Rage Arts don't wall splat, I believe. I don't think that's a factor. Even then, that would only count for 1 damage. Yeah, no wall splat. So, Yeah, no, if I show the clip, in Season 1, the damage scaling would cap to 13 damage on the Rage Art total, because the game will round down on every individual hit. So it's because this thing is 10, 10, 35, at 25% scaling, that would be 1 plus 2 damage, plus, what's 35 multiplied by 0.25 again? Sorry. 8.75, which I believe rounds up. I forget, but like damage scaling, I forget where it caps, but like the damage scaling on Rage Arts is jank, and you can never realistically know how far the damage scaling is, because as you saw, the damage scaling on the cutscene doesn't update on the UI. But I don't know if this is a buff in Season 2 or I got my numbers wrong in Season 1, but the damage scaling on Rage Arts is weird. So just know that if you're in Rage, your combo ender now for Rage Art will, generally speaking, deal the most damage. I don't know how universal this is because I'm not great at long combo art, but yeah, keep that in mind, alright? Oh, and of course, if anybody has extra information on Rage Art scaling and how it works in Season 2, because I have to check the patch notes, I'll put the patch notes and I can answer my own questions in the comments. We can deliberate. But yeah, this is just such a weird mechanic. Alright, y'all, thanks for watching. Don't worry, there'll be more Tekken content to come. I had this one on my mind. Rage Arts are just, I don't like them, but the Rage Art damage scaling combos is bizarre to me. So I just want to make a quick video on it. If anyone has more information or understands better how it works, please let me know in the comments. And I'll probably do an update comment. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Just know Rage Art's usually your strongest combo ender.